4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we appreciate you tuning us in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be talking to the state champion Madison Central cheerleaders. They took first place in the game day division on Friday up in over in Winchester, and we got a chance earlier today to go over and talk to Karen Feldhaus and those young ladies, so stay tuned for that. But as we always do, we want to start off this show with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports, and we will start right there with the Madison Central cheerleaders. Like we said, game day, small division, first place, 12th state title for Madison Central cheerleading. Took first place with a score of 94.10, easily beating out Rowan County, who finished out at 89.2. The KHSAA state cheer championships were Friday and Saturday over in Winchester, and the game day division was on Friday night. Also on Friday night, the co-ed division, that's where Madison Southern finished 8th with a score of 73.1. But 12th state title for Madison Central in cheerleading, and we'll be talking to those young ladies and their coach in just a few minutes, so hang on for that. Also this weekend, KHSAA state dance championships. They were Sunday over at GRC, and as we are filming this, I don't have the complete results yet, to be completely honest with you. Madison Central qualified to compete in the state in 3 events: jazz, game day, and pom. They did finish 4th in the jazz, I know that. Madison Southern competed in 2 events, the game day and the hip hop. And I don't have complete results yet, but check out Richmond Register's social media sites, and we will let you know how all that went for those young ladies. So, speaking of talented young ladies, 43rd Annual Champ Sports Cross Country High School Championships on Saturday in San Diego, California at Balboa Park. And Madison Central's Kiera O'Shea, 5th place in a time of 17:21.5. Her best finish ever in this event. She was in this event last year and finished 26th. No, what a remarkable finish to a remarkable high school cross-country career. She went out early with the lead pack. Carrie Beloga, the girl that won it, she was with her through about the first mile, and actually Kiera took the lead for a little bit. But we were lucky enough on Saturday evening to be able to get Kiera on a video call. And so here's the interview from yesterday. You may have already seen this. It's been out there on our social media sites for about a day now. But we got a chance to talk to Kiera after her 5th place finish at the National Championships. Well, welcome back. We are joined live from San Diego, California by Kiera O'Shea, Madison Central cross-country runner. She competed today in the 43rd Annual Champ Sports Cross-Country High School National Championships and finished 5th in a time of 17:21.5. Congratulations, Kiera. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're on the beach right now. We were so jealous of you.
I am. Yeah, we just hiked down, so if the service is a little slow, it's because of the cliffs around me.
Well, spin around and spin the phone around and show us the beach there.
Yes, let me see if I can figure out how to spin the camera.
Well, you don't have to if you don't want to. Don't worry about it. We want to tire. There you go. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's awesome. So this is the second time you'd run in this big national event. You finished, 26th last year? So kind of what were your expectations coming in this year?
Yeah, last year I left really unhappy with my race. So just kind of using last year's experience and all the experience I've gained during track season to sort of just piece it together today and put down the best performance I could. Just see what I could do today.
Yeah, in Balboa Park, I was watching the race. It's definitely, I know you've raced on tons of different courses everywhere. It's it's certainly unusual. It has a big loop down by a dog park. You go over a road, and it's an unusual course. And I guess that experience of being there last year certainly helped you.
Yeah, definitely. Getting to see the course last year and then having the entire year to sort of think back to it and put myself back on that course during every race has definitely played a big role in how today went.
Yeah, not a lot of big ups and downs, but there are some inclines and stuff. Kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough course. There's not really any flat ground, so just kind of preparing all season long on the hills and just getting ready to be able to attack those and use them to my advantage has definitely prepared me to hit those hills and be ready to race.
Up to 1 mile mark, you and Gary Belogo were pretty much neck and neck at 5:17, the 1 mile mark there, and you actually did take the lead for a little bit after that.
Yeah, I mean, Carrie's a great runner. I knew whenever I was out front with her that I was either going to have the race of my life or I was going to go backwards a little. And so, unfortunately, the second lap, I kind of got dropped by her and a couple others. So, I went out hard and then paid for it a bit the second lap. But I hung on for as long as I could and put down as much as my body was ready to put down that day. So, I mean, I'm happy with it, but still disappointed that I couldn't hang on a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, but still, even at the end there, you had a good kick to finish fifth. So, had to feel pretty good overall, though, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, when I was texting with your mom earlier, this is your last high school cross country race. She was a little bit sad about that, but you do have the whole track season to go, and of course, you're going to go off to the University of North Carolina as well. But sad at all at your last high school race, like your mom, or are you just kind of enjoying it all?
Honestly, I'm just enjoying it right now. I haven't really thought about the fact that my cross country season has come to an end in high school, but I mean, being sad is kind of just going to change into more excitement for the college season that I get to now prepare for and get ready to compete at for next season.
Yeah. How long have you been out there and in California? What have you guys been up to, your family and everything?
Yeah, we got in Wednesday night, so we've kind of just been, we just hung out Wednesday night, and then all the athletes arrived on Thursday, so I've just kind of been hanging out with the rest of the athletes, getting to know all the other runners and kind of hear how their season have gone and sort of what their future holds for them. So just kind of getting to know all the other athletes while I'm out here, getting to spend some time with them.
Is there a lot of events with you guys the runners together and stuff they did before that? They're sponsored by Champ Sports?
Yeah, so they put us all up in the same hotel. They provide us with all of our meals while we're out here, and they have like a little lounge for all the athletes to sort of hang out in when we have downtime. So they're always kind of keeping us together and trying to provide as many opportunities for us to get to interact with each other.
Okay. How long are you guys hanging out there before you come back?
So we have one more event all together tonight, and then we'll leave sometime tomorrow. I don't know what time our flight is, but at some point tomorrow we'll be headed home.
Okay. All right. So what's up next for you? I know you've already been doing some 3,200 and 1,600 events and stuff like that, but what's your schedule look like going forward?
Yeah, so I'll take a week or two just of some downtime, very easy running, days off maybe if I feel like it. So just kind of some time to sort of reset and get ready for the indoor season. I guess I'll probably race a couple indoor and then focus more on the outdoor season.
How often do you actually go a day without running? You run pretty much every day?
Yeah, I usually take one day off a week. So usually my Sundays are my rest days that I just sort of get to chill and not do anything. But hopefully this next week we'll have a couple extra off days.
All right, we appreciate you taking the time and posted all this stuff on social media, and you should see the reaction. Everybody here is so happy for you and so proud of you. So we congratulate you as well. So 5th place in the nation. That's pretty incredible. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Well, congratulations to Kiara on the amazing conclusion to an amazing high school cross-country career. But that's not the end of her high school career, folks. Don't forget, she does run track. She does 800 meters, 1,600 meters, 3,200 meters, and is the defending state champion in the 1,600 and 3,200 meters. So not the end of her career just yet, but it's another great, amazing accolade for an amazing young lady. So congratulations to Kiara. Moving on to we got a lot of other news to get through here, folks, and we'll start off with some football news, which I know is a little bit weird for December, but we did get word this week that Berea Community coach Frank Parks is leaving the school after 2 years. He is now going to be the new head coach at Danville. It's a great hire for Danville, and of course a great opportunity for Coach Parks. It's obviously a program that's won a ton of state championships. There's a reason why they call Danville Titletown, between the Danville Admirals and the Boyle County Rebels. There are more state championships than I can count on many hands. But 2 seasons at Berea, he was 8-14. He was 4-7 both seasons. Berea didn't win a playoff game in either year. But of course, if you know Coach Parks, he's also been an assistant at Madison Central. He was the head coach at Bryan Station as well. And whoever the new head coach at Berea will be the 5th coach of that program in the past 7 years, in the past 7 years. So been a lot of turnover recently there, and we'll have to see how that turns out. And it's funny, I texted the other day with athletic director Jerry Bingham, and I said, I guess you're looking for a new football coach. And he said, well, we're also looking for a softball coach, because Frank was going to coach softball this spring over there as well. So also in other football news, I'm sure you saw this across many platforms, but ESPN did confirm what a lot of us had kind of been hearing for quite a while now. The Atlantic Sun Conference, ASUN Conference, will be permanently merging with the WAC coming up probably this year, in an attempt to basically, this is a really complicated situation, but basically these two leagues are going to merge together, and the entire league of between 10 to 14 teams is going to try to move up to FBS maybe in the 2025, 2026 season. There's a lot of moving parts to this. It's way too complicated for me to try to explain to you right here. This is a long-term process, though, and a lot of things have to happen for this to get done. If you want to hear more about this, our friend Vince Stover has the Sports Stove podcast. He had EKU Athletic Director Matt Rohn on Friday. That podcast is available out there right now if you want to hear a little bit more about this. But this is, I would encourage EKU fans to pump the brakes a little bit. This is an encouraging sign, but there's a lot of things that have to happen for this to go into place. I know a lot of EKU fans were running around on Thursday and Friday very exuberantly, saying we're going to FBS. Well, that's the plan they put in place. Will hopefully get EKU there, but there's a lot of steps along the way. So a lot of unanswered questions in this. I mean, there's a long list of unanswered questions in this, but it certainly seems like the folks at Austin P actually are the ones who are leading the charge on this. But you could be looking at EKU football playing in the FBS in maybe 2025, 2026, somewhere in there. But that's a long time from now. Let's focus on what's going on right now. And through the first 2 weeks of high school basketball season, we have 2 undefeated girls basketball teams in Madison County. Madison Southern moving to 6-0 on the season by winning 3 games this week on the way to the championship of the Billy Hicks Classic up in Georgetown. 52-41 over Simon Kenton on Tuesday. A 51-48 come-from-behind win over Great Crossing on Thursday. And then the championship game on Saturday, a 55-47 win over Grant County. And in that game, Lacey Sandlin, 6 of 7 from three-point range for 20 points. Madison Southern had a 24-point lead. And after the game, we got a chance to talk to Coach Josh Curtis and Lacey Sandlin. We're here at Great Crossing High School, where the Lady Eagles of Madison Southern have won the Billy Hicks Classic with a 55-47 win over Grant County. Coach Josh Curtis and sharpshooting Lacey Sandlin here, 6 of 7 on three-pointers today. Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations, Lacey.
Thank you.
You guys were up by about 20. It seemed like it was in cruise control, and they kept battling and made it a game there at the end.
Yeah. They, thankfully we created a big enough of a lead. I think we got up to 24 points, where we allowed some margin of error and some possessions defensively that we shouldn't have. But the for 3 quarters, the girls were locked in defensively and did what they needed to do. So I was really proud of them, especially after a long week over here and driving back and forth. And I know that can wear on you. You know, we played 2 really good teams in Simon Kenton and Great Crossing, and, you know, this team was going to be tough. So we knew it would be a tough one today.
Offense was kind of struggling to get going, and then you hit a bunch of threes in a row there. Kind of what was, and you saw some openings and went for it there? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really shot the ball well this year, but I think today I just came out with confidence, and that's what really changed.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to hit 6, but only in 7 attempts, 6 of 7. How about that, guys?
It's pretty tough to do. Yeah, and we were just talking about that. We were looking at the stat sheet. You know, we all know how good Hadley French is as a player. She's one of the best guards players in the region. She went scoreless today, and for us to put up 55 and have a 24-point lead, you know, that just does wonders for kids like Lacey and others who had to step up and make plays. And, you know, I'm glad that some of our kids are starting to get that confidence, and others are starting to see that we're not just a one-man show, that we've got a lot of good players that can support the rest of them. So that was probably the most encouraging thing I saw today.
Yeah, Lacey 6-0, tournament championship, and heading into a big week with Henry Clay and Madison Central.
Yeah, it feels great. I'm so proud of everybody, and it's been fun playing with them this year, and I hope that we just continue to win.
All right. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to the Lady Eagles on the tournament victory. They'll be back in action on Tuesday at Henry Clay, and now they're 6-0 on the season. Madison Central's Lady Indians are 4-0 on the season. 2 tough road wins this past week, 56-38 on Monday over Henry Clay, and then on Saturday, 52-44 up at Connor in Northern Kentucky. Against Henry Clay, it was Bailey Hensley with 24 points and 5 rebounds. She was 12 of 19 from the field. And against Connor, 4 players in double figures. Natea Strader with 12 points, Brittany Campbell 11 points, Chloe Freeman 11 points, and Bailey Hensley with 10 points. And Madison Central is back in action Monday at GRC, all leading up to a big showdown on Thursday night here in Richmond. Madison Central and Madison Southern. And if those 2 teams win earlier in the week, those 2 teams could be undefeated when they meet on Thursday night. So that will be a lot of fun. Berea Community Girls started off the season with a loss to Madison Central a couple weeks ago, and they have not lost since. 2 more good wins for them last week. Tuesday, 56-37 at home over Lafayette, and on Thursday, 42-37 at Estill County. 3-1 on the season now for the Lady Pirates. Against Lafayette, it was Sophia Brewer, 19 points. Abby Beard, 12 points. Lady Pirates shot 55% from the field and were 19 of 22 from the free throw line. And against Estill County, it was Lauren Stepp with 14 points and 12 rebounds. Sophie Brewer with 12 points. Maddie King with 8 points. And the Lady Pirates will be back in action Tuesday at home against Paul Lawrence Dunbar. The Model Lady Patriots had a couple of games last week. On Monday, a 46-26 loss at LCA. And they bounced back on Friday night with a 31-26 win at McBrayer Arena over Bergen. And this is a game where the Lady Patriots did not have their leading scorer and point guard Maya Bandari, but it was Riley Hunt with 7 points and 19 rebounds, and J.D. Balzer with 7 points. Model shot just 25.6% from the field in what was a low-scoring game, but the Lady Patriots still pick up the win to move to 2-2 on the season. And afterwards, we got a chance to talk to Coach Scotty Sutton.
We're here at McBrayer Arena, where the Model Lady Patriots picked up a 31-26 win over Bergen. Hard-fought victory, a low-scoring game.
Yep.
Coach Scotty Sutton, you didn't have your point guard tonight, kind of unexpectedly, but your kids rallied and got the job done.
It was, and you know, not only do we not have Maya, Avery's been out sick all week. Alyssa really was under the weather, and she went out there and fought it hard, you know, and tried to give me all the minutes she could. So just so proud of everybody, because when your point guard's out, everybody's got to shuffle and play a different position, and so it was difficult, but I'm just really proud of the way they fought there at the end. When Bergen came back, you know, they could have wilted, and instead then we kind of went our own little 5-0 run, and that's what, you know, really pleased me.
Yeah, and if you had a little more time to prepare without having Maya, but
Yeah.
you only had about 2 hours. So
Yeah, exactly.
It was unexpected, but you guys made do.
We did, and you know, Paige coming in, you know, and she's been out with the foot injury, so you know she missed all the preseason, and then she comes in and is having to play the one. So, but I was really proud of my young girls. You know, a lot of times, and we talked about this, when you get into a venue like this, you start looking up, you start looking around. It's a boy-girl doubleheader, so there's a lot more people in the stands, and sometimes it can get away from them. And I thought that happened a little early, but then I thought they're late is when they finally said, okay, we got to get the job done, and they did. And, Riley Hunt, by our accounts, had 19 rebounds tonight. That's amazing. And so I was just real proud of the whole team, the way that, JD continues to play hard. And I gave a game ball to Claire Garner tonight. She came out, even though she didn't make a lot of shots, she was in rhythm, shooting it up, playing great defense. Had a couple huge offensive rebounds, and for a small player, that was big, and just overall just so proud.
Yeah, some days off. Of course, Tuesday your next one?
Thursday. Yeah, those we had with the art thing going on and exams, we had to give them off until Thursday. So we go down to Barberville on Thursday, and then we have Eminence on Saturday before Christmas.
All right. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, as you heard Scotty say there, back in action Thursday at Barberville for the Lady Patriots, who were 2-2 on the season. High school boys hoops, we switched over to that side of things, and it's been a very challenging opening couple of weeks of the season for the Madison Central Indians, and of course that's the way Coach Feldhaus likes it. He is going to challenge his team. He's going to fill that schedule up with as many top 25 teams as he can get, and he certainly has done that again this year. This past Tuesday, Madison Central traveled over to Winchester to take on the defending state champions from George Rogers Clark, and Madison Central had a 3-point lead after the third quarter, but a 12-2 run in the fourth quarter there, which was aided, I guess you'd say, by a technical foul that was called on Alan Feldhaus, but it was GRC rallying for a 76-67 win over the Indians. 4 players in double figures for Madison Central. Jalen Davis, 23 points. Hagen Harrison, 16 points. Robbie Todd, 12 points. And Jaden West with 11 points. Great atmosphere over there, big crowd. 2 really, really good high school basketball teams. And afterwards got a chance to talk to Alan Feldhaus about the loss to GRC.
We're in Winchester with Coach Alan Feldhaus. Indians fall 76-67 to the defending state champions, Clark County. But, man, Coach, for December, that was a hell of a high school basketball game between 2 really good teams.
Yeah, it was. Good atmosphere, tournament-type atmosphere. They came out the first half and hit a lot of threes. And we won it. I said, don't let Parrish, Morton, and Edwards beat us. And I'll be dang, Hampton stepped out there and hits like 3. That could ball. And even number 30, the football quarterback, he stepped out and hit something. I think they hit 5 the first half, and the second half they only hit 1. So I liked our effort of fighting back in that second half. And then we take the lead, and then Jalen cramps up. So we got to have Jalen, Hagen, and Robbie on the floor at all times. There was just a bad time to cramp up. And it seems like once we took that lead, they turned up the heat. We didn't get any help on it. against their pressure. But that's life on the road. You got to handle it. You got to deal with it. Of course, I got the team. I'm frustrated because I thought we got raped out there a couple times at midcourt, and of course that happens. And then they built a lead back, and then we still fought back. We went to our full press, and Jaden and Jalen were everywhere down there, created some turnovers. We cut it back to 4, still had a chance. So that's good for us, but we got some things to work on. 21 turnovers, and a lot of them are just careless ball handling turnovers. We're still not real smooth in our offense. Hagen's got to, it's what we talked about, he's got to do a better job leading our team, finding Jalen at the right time, finding Robbie at the right time, and shot selection. It's got to be a little bit better, Jalen.
Yeah, you guys were just joking with some of the GRC people here. You love to play him again somewhere.
I love to see him again. Yeah. I love to see him again in a neutral environment. I think we're going to be all right. I still keep telling myself, 4 of those guys have only been in there for like 4 or 5 practices, so I think we'll get better. We'll definitely get better because the competition will play. Our schedule is just crazy brutal, and all these road games here in the O'Brien Station. That'll be tough Friday night. Of course, we got Ballard Saturday at Mason County, so that's where we like it.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time.
All right, thanks.
And it certainly would be fun at some point to see those 2 teams play again. That would definitely be a lot of fun. Maybe over at Rupp Arena, that would be awesome as well. 2 other games this week for Madison Central after the loss to GRC. Friday they went up to Lexington and picked up an 86-67 win over Bryan Station, and then on Saturday suffered a 73-63 loss to Ballard at the Mike Murphy Classic up in Maysville. In the game against Bryan Station, Jalen Davis, 5 of 8 from 3-point range and poured in a career-high 42 points, and Hagen Harrison had 16 points as well. In the game against Ballard, Madison Central was only down by 3 at the half, but then shot just 21% from the field in the second half. allowing the Bruins to pull away for a victory. Jalen Davis, 22 points, and Hagan Harrison, 18 points. 2-3 on the season now for the Indians. They'll be back in action Tuesday at home against Scott County. A rough week for the Madison Southern Eagles, I should say. 2 games, 2 losses. Tuesday, 83-64 loss at Danville Christian. And then on Friday night at home, a 67-60 loss to Lincoln County. In the loss at Danville Christian, Jay Rose 36 points, which pushed him over 1,000 for his career. So congratulations to Jay. And it was Braden Hudson with 9 points as well. Tons of fouls in this game, including 4 technicals. Danville Christian shot 40 free throws, hit 25 of those. So ugly game on the road. But the Eagles did come back home on Friday night to take on Lincoln County. This was a game that was pretty close all throughout. Lincoln County was in by I think it was by 11 at one point, but Southern got it back to 4 points a couple of times in the fourth quarter before they were able to hold on for the win. But Jay Rose 21 points, Zach Hudson 18 points, and 2-3 on the season now for the Eagles, and they'll be back in action Tuesday at home against South Laurel. Busy week for the Model Patriots. 3 games. On Tuesday, an 84-64 win at home over the Wellspring Guardians. In that game, Keshav Bondari had 26 points. Kel Vickers had 16 points. And then on Friday night, over at McBrayer Arena, they took on Somerset Christian and were able to pick up a victory there in a game where they didn't have Keshav Bondari, but Kel Vickers had 19 points, Riley Millette with 17 points, and Beckett Parker Noblet with 16 points. And after the victory, we were able to get a chance to talk to John Morgerson.
We're here at McBrayer Arena. Coach John Morgerson, the Patriots have picked up a 71-62 win over Somerset Christian. Coach, just like the girls' team tonight, you were without your point guard. Short notice and as well, but you've made some adjustments. Your kids responded and played really well.
Yeah, we played without Keshav in our first scrimmage. He was out of town for a wedding, and I think just that time of us playing together and knowing that we could still be successful without him. We're thinking about his family tonight, and sometimes you just got to step up. We just said next man up. Guys had to step up, play harder, play better defense, just like Keshav does. So we missed him tonight, but I think it was good for a lot of our other guys too.
Yeah, he came with a lot of energy, so they must have been.
Coming in this building, it kind of gives them a little bit of energy. They're all real loose and excited, and we just try to make sure we rein it in and they get a little focus when we start the game. But this is a great building to play in. It gets loud, and it's a good preview of hopefully what we get to see in February.
Yeah, and of course, Keshav handles the ball most of the time for you, but Shalin can do that, and other guys can too. So
yeah, and we kind of share the ball anyway, naturally. Press offense, man offense, it doesn't matter. Shalin, Beckett, Keshav, they can all initiate offense, and it's good for them. Kale can handle the ball. We put the ball in everybody's hands. That's just kind of how we play offense, and so they're kind of used to it. We got to work on press break. It was making me lose a little bit more hair over there. I don't have any left anyway, but stepped up, made free throws when we needed to. Got the ball in when we needed to. Somerset Christian played really hard. They weren't going to give up, and they made a good run, and we found a way to close it out.
Yeah, they got back within, I think, 5 was closest they got at one point, I think?
Yeah, I don't know. It was 5 or 6.
You get a little hairy there, no pun intended, right?
Yeah, I saw her over there. We're trying to make sure we get a win. Glad she could be here tonight. You got anything to say? She's going to be shy now.
That's all right. Right back at it tomorrow, down at Whitley?
Yeah, we go down to Whitley County, go against Coach Soares down there, and I know he's got a good team, and he's got to bring it again.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
There's a Model 71-62 win over Somerset Christian on Friday night over at Brayer Arena. The Patriots were back on the road just a few hours later on Saturday afternoon down to Whitley County, and they suffered a 74-39 loss. It was Harrison Parkhurst with 11 points, and Keshav Bondari was back in the lineup, and he had 6 points and 5 rebounds. 3-3 on the season for the Patriots, and they'll be back in action Friday night at Frankfort. Also a busy week for the Berea Community Pirates. They had 3 games. Tuesday, a 70-44 loss at home to Bluegrass United. Thursday, a 53-48 win at Bergen. And then Friday, a 73-47 loss at Pineville. And the win over Bergen, Cam Puckett 19 points and Finley Blevins with 12 points. The Pirates at 2-3 will be back in action Tuesday at Jackson County. Turning to college hoops, we'll go to the Collegiate Conference of the South, our friends at Berea College. We'll start off with the women, who improved to 7-0 on the season with a pair of wins this past week. Thursday, they won 71-66 over Spalding University up in Louisville. And then on Saturday, a 78-60 win in their home opener over Welsh College. And they had not played a home game until Saturday. So they were very happy to be back at home. In the win over Spalding, it was Aaliyah Hampton, 25 points, Destiny Combs, 19 points, and 11 rebounds. And against Welsh, like I said, first home game of the year, and they were ready to go after playing 6 straight road games, and they got out to a 23-9 lead after the first quarter and just rolled from there. It was Lencala James with a career-high 19 points and another double-double for Destiny Combs, 16 points and 11 rebounds. A little bit of time off now for the Lady Mountaineers. They don't return to action until December 19th when they play in the Jamie L. Roberts tournament in Washington, D.C. Just one game on the week for the Berea College men. It was a 64-63 win on Wednesday night over Spalding University up in Louisville. It was Marquise Mackey with a big three-pointer in the final seconds, which gave Berea the lead and allowed them to hold on for the victory to move to 6-4 on the season. And it was Trey Minner with 26 points and 4 rebounds, and Isaac Cottle with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Berea College men also have a little bit of time off. They won't play again until December 17th when they're at home against Midway. Moving on to EKU hoops, men's team had 2 games this week, and they couldn't have been two more different opponents. On Wednesday night, a trip down to number 7 Tennessee, and then on Saturday, a home game against Boyce College, a non-Division I opponent. But as you might expect, those 2 games went as expected. 84-49 loss to Tennessee, and then a 140-79 win over Boyce College. In the game against UT, EKU was 6 of 35 from three-point range, shot just 22.1% from the field. Leland Walker had 13 points. And in the game against Boyce College, Michael Marino with a new school record, 11 three-pointers. He had 35 points, 8 players in double figures. They were 23 of 50 from three-point range and shot 58.1% from the field and had 48 points off of turnovers. EKU 5-5 on the season, and 3 of those 5 wins have been against non-Division I opponents. So that's been kind of the easy part of the schedule. Now things get a little harder, including a trip Wednesday up I-75 to take on Northern Kentucky University. Just one game this week for the EKU women. Thursday night at Northern Kentucky, and it was a 79-69 loss. Antoinette Walker was not in the lineup. She was not available, but the EKU did get Marissa Mankins eligible, who is a transfer from North Florida, and she ended up with 19 points. Daniela Ramey also had 19 points. Northern Kentucky had a 21-8 lead after the first quarter, and EKU was never able to really get back in the game more than about 10, 12 points along that way. But 4-5 on the season for EKU's women. They're back in action Tuesday at Boston College in an afternoon game. Or I think it's an 11 o'clock game on Tuesday. Interesting scheduling there. High school wrestling for you. Madison Central's wrestling team was in the Ryle Raider Rumble, which I knew I was going to mess that up, on a Saturday up in Northern Kentucky. Only took 8 wrestlers, so they finished in 14th place with 73 points. But of those 8 wrestlers, 5 of them did medal, and it was Robert Nardelli in the 132-pound weight class finishing 3rd. Diego Peltier in the 215 weight class was 7th. And Gavin Kenley, Lucas Hutchinson, and Eli Fatua each finished in 8th place in their divisions. So it's a lot of stuff to get through, but there it is. There's so much good stuff to report on here in Madison County. We try to keep this show under an hour every week, but sometimes it's just not possible. But hey, it's YouTube. We can go as long as we want, right? So it's okay. So, like I said earlier, though, we did have a chance this afternoon to go over and hang out with Coach Karen Feldhaus and her cheerleaders over at Madison Central. And we had a great time. They did a little performance for us, showed part of the routine to us, and it gave us a little insight into really more of what the game day part of what they do is. And so it was a lot of fun. So hang on. We'll be right back with Karen Feldhaus and the Madison Central cheerleaders.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by KYmedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
We are here at the Cheer Gym at Madison Central High School, and we are joined by cheerleading coach Karen Feldhaus. Again, you've been on the show many times,
you're twice.
Yeah, and you're back again because you've won another state championship. You're 12th here at Madison Central. Friday night over at GRC.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So, yes, in the game day division. It was quite exciting.
Yeah, and you guys, we'll get into that in a minute. What the difference between game day and all the other divisions are. It's much different. The game day is a much different thing than the rest of it. But,
Right. The Kentucky High School Athletic Association obviously sponsors our state cheer competition. So there's several different divisions, and the difference on Friday night is just the game day division. So the game day division was started a couple years ago. Really to kind of amplify what cheerleaders actually do in spirit raising for their school. And so that's something we do very well. So because we cheer for our Indians home and away.
Yeah.
And so we're excited. And so it's kind of easy for us to do game day. I wouldn't say it's an easy division, but it's become a real popular thing both at the state and national level. So you do a band chant, which you would normally do with your band. You do a sideline, a cheer, and then you finish with your fight song.
Yeah, and crowd participation is a big part of it too, right? You need your crowd to be
absolutely, absolutely. You're scored on a number of things, but how you use your props, your signs, your flags, your megs, things that you would do just normally in your school or student body to get your kids or your fans to yell with you. So try to get your fans in the stands on their feet, and then you're also scored in the cheer, particularly on the callback. So getting people to yell CENTRAL with you. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting too because I was at the regional, and you go out there and you don't know whether it's offense or defense. The judges tell you at some point, and you have to adjust.
Well, that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like they actually give you a situational, like your ball is on the whatever yard line, or you're going for a touchdown or whatever. So you have to have an offense or a defense cheer prepared, and which way to go with that. So they have to listen for the call, and then they've got to react to that fairly quickly and make sure we get it right. Yeah. So they got to know the game.
Yeah, you only have a couple of seconds there to figure it out, and all these young ladies have to get on the same page. And
yeah, because you can't exceed time. You're on the clock, so you just don't get to stay out there forever.
Yeah, the judge will be like, it's 4th down and goal. The Indians need a big goal line stand to win the game.
Right.
So and it's just like that. You got to do it.
Right. Absolutely. So, and they, oddly enough, they're also competing in a 2.5 minute. So this little group has competed quite a bit. We did region and we did UCA regional last week to qualify to go to nationals, and they competed in 2 divisions, both game day and 2.5 minute. And then, of course, we by winning the region, we got to compete in state on Friday. So they are your state champions. I'm really excited. But what I'm most excited about is their performance, number one. It was pretty spot on. They were batting cleanup, so they got to go last.
Yeah.
That always helps. And I think after they sat and watched a lot of teams, it can be very intimidating because this is what we term our junior varsity. Not that I coach them like that. But I think it can be very intimidating for a junior varsity team to be in a varsity division of 18 teams. And so I think after they sat and watched, you agree, girls? After they kind of sat and watched, they're like, okay, we got this,
Yeah, I ended up winning by, I think you got 4 or 5 points or something.
Yeah,
It was pretty
5 points, yeah.
Pretty easy win.
Yeah, so, yeah, they were ready to go. I really had very little to do in prep when we got downstairs. So, Kira and I were like, you can just, breathe, take your time. And they were like, get out of our way. We got this. I was like, you're dismissed, Miss Feldhaus. So I was like, peace out. I'm gone. So.
And I've been very rude not to introduce Kira. So.
This is Kira LaRue. She is one of my assistants. I have Madison Pergram and a number of people that actually come in and out of this gym. These girls are pretty blessed. They have, tumbling coaches and choreographers, but this is my full-time assistant. She actually teaches at Madison Central.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and Madison Pergram, who's not here.
Yeah. So your first state championship as a coach?
Yeah, I guess actually. It's super exciting. It's great to see all of them, and I'm super proud of them. They work super hard in the gym, and then of course performing. I think that was just something that they do best. They got out there and they had so much fun, and you could definitely tell on the mat. So.
Yeah. It's a young group, like you said. Technically a JV squad,
very young. We
shouldn't even say that because they're so good. We shouldn't even call them a JV squad.
Yeah,
but.
I don't treat them like JV people, do I? I'm pretty tough on you. They'll tell you that. I don't like the term JV. Period. I think we just really have 2 teams here. I think we target on skills every day. We don't really talk about winning in our gym. We just talk about getting better every day. So to me, it doesn't really matter whether you're varsity or JV. I think it's just that you're doing your absolute best and we're getting better every single day. So I have 2 rules in this gym. 1, we don't talk about winning, and 2, we don't ever mention other teams. That doesn't help us at all. So we just stay focused to who we are and just try to get better every single day.
All right, well, we're going to go right on down the list here. We're going to hand off the microphone to these young ladies, and everybody introduce yourself, and then we're going to let a couple of you kind of speak about the Friday night and the championship. So just pass it on down the line.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Aubrey.
I'm Jillian.
I'm Mason. I'm Ava.
I'm Reagan.
I'm Corey.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Ava.
I'm Ava.
I'm Allison.
I'm Bella.
I'm Kaylin.
I'm Ansley.
Okay, I guess we'll hand it back to me. Nathan didn't follow us.
Who wants to talk a little bit about? Who wants to talk? All right, we'll go over here. All right. Well, like I said, like Coach said, you guys had to wait to the very end. Kind of what was that? You kind of scouting out the competition there, and how did you guys feel when you took the mat?
It was a really good feeling. I feel like our warm-up was really good, which is key to performing. Made us more confident, and just taking the field, the floor, it just felt really good. So that was helpful to compete.
I would say confidence is like the number one thing, and we practice here basically 6 days a week, so we felt pretty good about it.
You're going to get them in trouble. Anybody else want to talk? Anybody else want to? Anybody else?
Don't speak up at once.
Come on.
That's what makes it learning.
I guess not. They're being shy on us here. All right. Well, you guys, as always, you're going to get to go to the Nationals here in February. Kind of look ahead to that.
We're really excited to go to Nationals. We qualified for both, so we're really excited to see what we're going to do. And we have a lot of practice ahead, but we're really ready for it.
Nationals is definitely my favorite part of the year because we all get to stay together and get closer as a team and just support us in the varsity. So it's really fun.
And game day is obviously, like we talked about, a little bit different than kind of the regular routine. So do you guys enjoy game day more, the crowd interaction, or kind of talk a little bit about just the difference between game day and the regular?
Game day, I think we all just have fun with it. It's a little less stressful. We can just put things up and down and just have more fun. 2.5 minutes, you really have to focus on each skill that you're doing, and it takes a lot more effort for a 2.5, and you have to be more conditioned for it. So game day, we just have a lot of fun, and we can enjoy each other more and interact with each other.
You have to get your parents involved, right? You have to make sure they're there
Yes.
to do the cheers and the chant along, right?
Yeah, we could not do it without our parents and our varsity cheering with us because it's a lot of yelling. So.
Anybody else want to talk? Anybody else? They're being shy. That's all right.
Well, 7th grade. Maybe we should get her to speak up. Huh?
You want to? Well, look ahead to Nationals. Obviously, you guys have been so many times and brought home so many of those awesome white jackets. Tell us which one you're going to this year, the date, and everything for that.
It's the second weekend in February always. So that's the National High School Cheerleading Championships. I'm not sure exactly of those days. I'm just last weekend we were chasing bids. We weren't even talking about getting there. We just got to get the bids in hand first. So cheer's a little program with a different slant. You have to actually score a certain percentage before they'll invite you to come and participate. It doesn't matter how many times you've been there. So this year's been a little different in the cheer world for us, you know. And so I have two very, very skilled teams. My varsity, I have to talk about them for a minute. They had a little bump in the road. Yeah. Our region was super early, was November 5th. Yes. And so, we had 9 cases of flu from November 1st to November the 11th, I think, on that particular team. So we just really, we were actually stunting with them in practice while girls were in bed with the flu. It didn't work out real well. Yeah. So blame it on the coaching staff. It just was a rough run for them. So obviously they did not get to participate in the state championships this time. So we're regrouping with them, but they did very well as well. So we came home with 3 bids last weekend from Sevierville in Tennessee. So the JV earned both a 2.5 minute and a game day, and our varsity will be seen in the small 2.5 minute again to defend their national title. So that's our goal. She said a lot of practice. It's going to be a little rough in here for a while. There'll be a little blood, sweat, and tears, but we'll get through it and make a run at it once more. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I was there at the regional. The varsity had a little rough go, but the good thing is they're still a national. So.
Oh, yeah. So, well, it's just two total separate entities. Yeah. Our state cheer is completely separate from what you do at the national level. Yeah. And I think the state stuff is fun, but it's all backed up so early. That's kind of, it's just to start competitive cheer in November. It's almost unreasonable to ask those kids to hit those skills that early, and we just had a rough day. So, but those days come.
Yeah, because what you guys do is an incredible high level of skill. It's not.
Yeah.
Like I say, every time I have you on this show, and it's worth repeating again, if anybody out there thinks that these young ladies just stand over there and go rah rah rah, you're sadly mistaken. These are amazing athletes who do amazing things that 99% of the people in the world can't do.
Yeah, so, and we know we have a strong tradition here. I think people expected us to be perfect, and when we make a mistake, it's kind of like, oh no. So I always tell them rainy days blow hard, then they're gone, Tough times don't last, and we got to be tougher than the situation. So, we're just battling through it right now and trying to piece it all back together and get ready for nationals.
Okay. You guys want to walk us through some stuff and show us some things?
We're going to start with our band dance, which is the band chant, which is the opening part.
Okay.
So it's what we would do with our high school band to get them to yell with us.
Okay.
We'll start with that. Is
All
that
right,
good?
Cool. Absolutely. Well, Coach Feldhaus, thanks again for letting us come over here and putting on a little show for us. And if anybody that didn't get over there Friday night, to kind of get a taste of what it was like. So congratulations on another state championship.
Well, thank you. And thanks to these girls for all their hard work and effort, and our parents, and like I said, our varsity team that was there to support. We appreciate you spotlighting them because I think they're worthy of that. They've represented Madison Central well, and that's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah. Good luck in Florida, and one of these days I'm going to hop on the plane with you guys.
One of these days. We don't do planes; we do the big bus. So if you're brave enough to do that, what is it, 12 hours or something? If I don't know how many hours, it's all a big blur. But when you're my age, you just pray that it's over.
Randy, you in? You in, Randy?
I'm in.
Right?
We'll do a stowaway. Yes, come on. We'll be glad to put you on.
All right, that'll wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. We'll be back next Sunday with a new edition. As always, best place to follow Madison County sports is Twitter, Richmond R Sports, and on Facebook at Register Sports. Thanks again.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Wave everybody.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.